This was the sample that you've seen last week. I've just put some gold down on this one about half an hour ago. But what I'm going to do now is show you what to do. You can use either a top coat nail varnish and got a beautiful shine from it. But you can use wood glue as well. I mean, the nail varnish is a good one because it'll dry a lot quicker than this. So can you see the brush line? You see it's almost clear. What I want to do is not get brush lines. Can you see they're brush lines, right? I need to get rid of them because however this glue sets, the gold will show the lines underneath. So I'm putting a very thin coat on. The technique also applies to nail varnish too. So as long as you put it on very, very thinly. I'm just trying to get rid of those brush lines now. I'm just going to wait a few minutes for that to go off. And while that's going off, because what I don't want it wet because the gold won't shine if it's too wet. So on the one that I did earlier today, this is the last thing that you'll do after you've put the gold down, and you'll do this the next day. It's called skewing. And what you can do is get some kitchen roll or a piece of paper, because you can keep the gold that comes off and reuse it on another project. Okay? Put the tissue down there. Can you see I've got a very soft makeup brush. Okay, and I'm doing that, tamping it to get the gold off, because gold on gold will scratch. So this is an actual technical term called skewing. So what you're doing is getting all of the raised bits of gold leaf off, and you want a nice flat surface. Yeah. Can you see all these tiny bits of gold here? So what you'll do with these tiny microscopic bits is tip it into a jar and keep them, and you can use them whenever you want to. But now that's actually quite nice and flat here. Can you see that? It's got a lovely sheen to it. You see the reflection of my fingernail? That's the sort of look you're after. Now, I can feel it. When you test the nail varnish or the glue that you're using, use the side of your finger here, because if you start using your thumb or in any fingertip, you're going to leave a fingerprint, and that will come through the gold. Now this to me is not wet, okay? So I think it's ready for me to gild that bit. So, right, any brush, remember to rub it on your chin or your neck, just to get a little bit of oil on there. So the book that you've got, remember you're holding it in between like that. Okay, then you're going to flick it like a book. So all of that, these two fingers are protecting the gold leaf. It's not going to fall out of the book. So you'll just flip it along until you find some gold. So I've found some gold. I'm going to push that up everything is secure in there. Okay, so if you put it flat on a surface and keep holding that, remember I'm folding it because if I do that, if I don't do that, the whole leaf is going to move. But basically what you're doing with that left hand is you're holding that gold leaf down. I just twisted the paintbrush a bit, and now I'm going to go down and up. And I'm just tamping it down. I'm not painting it, it's just up and down movements. So a little twist and down. Now, if you find it doesn't stick, what you can do is with your breath, really hot breath, go close to it and go, that reactivates the glue, the nail varnish. You see how that's sticking better now? So twist, up, down, and then pounce. I'm not brushing it like that. I'm just pouncing it on. If you've got a miss, it's that big hole there, just get another piece of gold and go on top. So you literally just down and up. So I'm nearly done this, and then I'll show you how to get rid of the excess of it. So I'm more or less happy with that. I've covered everything I want to. And then I'll close the book and move that out of the way. Now, what I'm going to do here is with my soft makeup brush, remember the one that I did the skewing off with? I'm just going to pounce down and make sure it's all there, all sticking nicely. Turn the brush around. If you find that it's gone off the side of the edge and you don't want it there, with a Q-tip and some water. Gold leaf does not like water. And gently brush it off. Takes a bit of time, but eventually it will come off. And then the next day, but if you're using nail varnish, you can do it as soon as the nail varnish is dried. So I'd say about maybe half an hour to an hour, and then you can skew it all off. Okay, so when you've done all of that and it's dry, that's the time that you'll want to get the glue. I'm just painting it over the gold. Yeah, we're doing the same technique that we did last time. And then just put that on there and break it as you go along. If you're using gold leaf on the background, it's nicer to make wider widths of the egg breaking. So the egg, the gold leaf can really come through. So when this dries, I'm just going to make this straighter. Don't like that one. The glue will dry transparent and the gold will still shine through. I'm trying to show you. But what also you can do with the gold leaf is gild the eggs themselves. So clear nail varnish. Now I haven't sanded this bit because it's still my test piece. So I'm just trying to get the eggshell and not the background color. And I should be wearing a mask, remember? So I'm just going to leave that for a couple of minutes. It's still too, when it's too wet, that's what people get a bit excited when they do gilding. You know, when you feel like something is sticky, like elastoplast sticky, they think that's the time to put the gold on, when in fact it's not at all. It's the worst time to put it on because that oil that they've used for gilding monuments outside, that oil isn't dry. And what happens with that is that if you put the gold on too early, it'll look like orange peel or elephant skin. So that's why there's a lot of timing involved. If you were doing a big job at gilding, say, a ceiling, you'd have to take into account your environment. How warm is it? How cold is it? Is there a draft? And then you'll put on the oil size and you'll have to time it. And then you come in the next morning. If it's not right, you have to start. It's a lot of sort of maths involved. That's okay to me. So I'm holding it and flicking it and I found a piece. I only put enough nail varnish on where you know that you can gild, otherwise it will become too dry. See, and it's really, really nice because it looks very, very old. Some bits haven't stuck at all. Maybe I left it too late. But can you see, it's given it a really nice, almost Byzantine. I mean, I quite like that because it has a natural distressed look. But if I wanted it pure or a bit more solid, I would put 2 coats of nail varnish on. I'd put one coat that would help me with the porosity, because if something's porous like a sponge, it's going to suck everything into it, but won't leave any stickiness on the surface. So that's why you would put 2 layers down.